We got Corey Doris. Bill Woodward in the show. Here it is. We got Will Branner. We have James Tolbert. James Tolbert is also is the understudy for Bill and Higgins and all of these people. And next we have Mary Kay Wiles. Mary Kay Wiles all of Mariah Rose Bates' track and Jamie Lynn Bates as well. And then we have Kurt Mega. Understudy for the role of Paul Matthews. And then anything else in this? And then all of Jeff Blimp's stuff as well. Wow, so Kurt knows the whole show. And then we have Lauren Lopez. Lauren plays the role of Emma Perkins, and Lauren is also the director of this production. And then from our crew, we have Juliet Park and Becky Park. Juliet is our stage manager, and Becky is one of our producers. Thank you. Let's get started, shall we? So we've got some questions that people have written on these little note cards here. And I'm going to pull these questions out of this little, this is called a really usable box. And you can get these at Staples. Yes. All right, let's see here. This one jumps right out. Okay, so this is for the crew. So Becky and Juliet. What's been the most unexpected challenge in your role?
Hi everyone. Hi. So my name is Julia Park. I'm the stage manager. So I'm always hiding in that little window right in the back right there. So if you come to see a show sometime in the future, maybe I'll wave at you. But I essentially, during rehearsals, I am in charge of making sure that all the actors are, or I'm keeping track of what blocking actors do, aka where they're moving on stage, what props are being picked up, put down, any rail cues. So as you can see, our beautiful scrim and flat black behind us, this will come up and down to reveal certain set changes. And during the show, I'm also calling light cues and sound cues. So any light changes that you see or sound cues, I am pressing a little space bar and it makes noise or changes lights. It's very fun. But in terms of challenging, mainly it's just, being in charge, period. I think just being in a leadership role is very difficult. I mean, obviously we have such a lovely, lovely cast and team of designers and crew members that are, honestly, they keep me honest, they keep everyone else honest. We just want to put on a good show. So I think it's just making sure that communication is clear and efficient and everyone has the information that they need at the correct time. So that I think that's just, figuring out those puzzles in my brain is what makes it super challenging as a stage manager.
That's great. Becky, was anything challenging?
Nothing at all. This has been a perfect run. I think my biggest challenge was I had to step into a lot of roles that I didn't know backstage. I like to stand in the back and just watch with you guys, and there's been a few times I had to not do that and actually work, so that was hard for me.
But I will say, for this whole team, I know one of Lauren's goals in the beginning of the show, something we talked about in the beginning of the first read through that she brought up, was like making sure that the machine, both on stage and backstage, is really well oiled, and that there's like a choreography to what we were doing on. Sorry, I'm crediting you. I don't mean to say words, but so even when Becky was like stepping into things, it's like everyone was so was so aware of what was going on, and people were like taking notes and knew what was happening. So it's like, it never felt like, oh my God, there's someone new doing this. It was like, yeah, all throughout tech, I feel like we really like figured it out. So by the time we got to the show and when people did need to step in, it was like, oh, this is great. This is not a big deal at all. So
And
it was
Becky
good.
can literally do like every job in the show now. So she's like a jack of all trades.
Thank you. The MVP. You're the best. All right, let's actually take this question. Let's focus this one to you, Lauren, as the director of the show.
Okay, great.
So this question comes from Kyla, and also, what is the other Kyla? Quincy. Hello, Quincy. Hello, how are you? Hi. All right, so, Lauren, what was your biggest focus when planning the reprise?
Oh,
What about this show made you want to reprise it?
well, that wasn't totally my decision. Nick had wanted to remount this show, and I was very much on board with that because we all love this show, and it would be great to see it in like kind of a bigger capacity. Wait, what was the first part of it? The question?
What was your biggest focus
Oh.
when planning the reprise?
So that's a hard question because there's a lot of things you have to focus on. But I think the main pillar that I always came back to was honestly not even like, oh, we want to put on a killer show, which obviously we do, but my main pillar that kind of like I focused everything else through was how do I want everyone to feel during this process and then when the process is done? Meaning, of course, the audience, but also everyone working on it, because it's a huge team that's working on this show. And so to me, the most important thing, even above creating an amazing show, was making sure that everyone had an amazing experience, felt really supported, felt really valued, and had the freedom and the chance to really like let their skills shine. So that honestly was my main goal, was like, let's just make this so enjoyable and so fun and such a supportive environment so that then we can make a killer show. Because you kind of need that first, I think. So yeah, thank you for your question.
Awesome. Very good question. Thank you so much, Kyla and Quincy. You're the best. All right, I'm going to throw this at Kurt Mango. Since you sing a lot of songs in this show, or you definitely know how to sing most everything, what is your favorite song from the guy who didn't like musicals?
I think it would have to be Inevitable because it ties everything.
Yeah.
I just think musically it's really satisfying, and I love just like all the little themes it brings together, and in particular I love the staging in this production. So like that's probably the standout song for me. But I also, You Tied My Heart, it's really fun too.
Excellent. All right, I'm going to throw this question to the whole cast and crew. Which cast member's pet is the biggest diva? Pet, yeah. Which one of all of your pets is the biggest diva?
Oh,
Good.
I mean,
I haven't met everyone's pet.
that's true. It's like everyone's got a personal opinion about it, but I mean, we brought Diane to one rehearsal, and after that rehearsal, Lauren was like, she can never come to rehearsal because she does a thing where she's coughing and she doesn't really need to cough, but she's doing it for attention. So it's like we were rehearsing the first scene where it's like there's a lot of like silence and it's like the first office scene, and like Jamie's answering her phone call going, CCRP technical, this is Charlotte, and all of a sudden Diane's just like going, and so, yeah, it is attention. We've gone to the vet, and they've
Yeah, she's fine.
we've got X-rays. So, I don't know, that's just my opinion. Seems like a real diva move, but yeah.
She also doesn't like dancing, right?
She hates
She
dancing.
doesn't like when people dance.
She's in her little carrier, and then someone comes up and is going like this, she'll be like, so she hates dancing, so yeah. She hates theater and she wants to interrupt everyone's scenes, so.
She's still a sweetheart, though. We love her.
She has come a long way, because she would make appearances in the theater during the first run
Yes.
of Diet,
Uh-huh.
and we could not get anywhere near her.
Yeah.
Or she would come out and then see us coming and go back into her little cage.
Yeah.
So her character.
She
So
has
yeah.
grown. She
Yeah,
has grown.
she loves us all.
Thank you for saying
Some
that.
of us.
Excellent. This is a question for Will Branner. What is your favorite part of playing Professor Higgins? And how does it compare to other Hatchetfield roles that you have played?
That's a great question. There's some with Max. That's like was very close to home for me. I had a high school bully. I bullied people in high school. We all did. You know what I mean? So it's like I've lived that experience. I've not been a biology professor, so that was a real challenge. Was to like and come up with my version of a kooky scientist. And I started watching all sorts of movies to kind of figure out, like, okay, where am I going to pull from for this? And I tried to avoid Back to the Future as much as possible. I was like, we've done enough Back to the Future. It can't be Doc from Back to the Future. And I went on this like wide search and eventually just wound up back at good old Doc Brown. So I drew a lot from that, but also drew a lot from the performances that came before. I mean, I'm in the turtleneck. I'm in the same costume as when they did this before. Two other people have played Higgins in various other projects. So it was so fun to find my version and still honor the character we know and love. But yeah, it's a total departure. I don't think I'll play a part like that for 20 years, hopefully. And Max was much more easily accessible, but lots to find there. But Higgins has been such a gift, and I love it so much. Oh my gosh, it's the most fun I've ever had. So.
It's such a joy watching Will bring so many fun, big, insane choices to Higgins. It's like, I remember the first time you did a show-stopping number in full during one of our runs, and we were all just like, and I had the joy of just getting to sit in a chair and watch you do it during the show. But no, it's a joy watching. It's
I will
so much
say,
fun.
a joke in the booth is that we always joke, as soon as we see show stopping, we go, aha, Higgins has taken over Will's brain. he is fully Higgins, no longer Will.
There
I
was
will
a
say, oh, I'm sorry.
no, go.
No, I always say that being in that scene, because during show stopping number, Ted and Emma are just sitting there for like 9 minutes. And I always say that's like the hardest part of the show for me, because we have to act so scared the whole time. And all we want to do is just be like, and watch it and enjoy it. It's so hard. It's a big performance we're giving.
No, there was one performance where the piano went askew a little bit, and I had this little like angel on my shoulder that luckily was like, "You gotta stop improving." I was like loving the piano, like moving it back into place and stuff. So that the Higgins does take over, but I got some good people like reel me back in.
It's on a pallet, and the pallet came in and broke, and the piano kept going, so it just went, and moved, oh! And it was, yeah,
It was good. It was good.
It made the most awful sound. When you tried to scooch it back, it just made the worst sound ever, and I was like, oh no. I think it broke everyone. It's great.
Very good answers. All right, this is a question for the whole cast from Courtney. But first, who I'd like to answer it is James Tolbert. Is there a specific song, dance, musical number from any show that you've done that holds a special memory?
Oh, that's such a great question. Special memory. I'm gonna say Stutter from Mary Potter's sequel, which was the first Starkid show I choreographed back in 2010, I believe. The reason that was so fun is because I remember, so that there was an ongoing trend here where they'd be like, James, we need you to choreograph a number. When? Tomorrow. Where's the song? We don't have it yet. And so Darren would send me an MP3 probably at like 8 o'clock the night before, and then I'd have to teach the number the next day. And I was like, okay, it's just whatever you got, just send it to me. And then he said, like, well, I got this song that I've had for a while. It's called Stutter. You're gonna love it. And I listened to it. I was like, this is a great pop song. And so immediately I was like, well, I'm gonna make this the Beyonce number of the show. Everyone's gonna be in these big cloaks, and they're just gonna have their star moment. It ended up being probably the most fun song in the show. I mean, second to the Quidditch match, which I think was also really fun. But I think Stutter was just so cool because I think everyone just enjoyed themselves. They were just like, it was very loose, very fun. And even though I had such a short time to put it together, it ended up probably being like my favorite song in that show. Yeah.
All right. Anybody else have any songs or dances that hold a special place in your memory?
I have a cherished video from everyone learning Stutter of Brian Holden in a black tank top and his little mustache, and he just looks like he's in a chorus line. Just really just strutting his stuff. But that's
Yeah,
that was a good one.
James, for those of you who don't know, has been choreographing Starkid shows, yes, since 2010, with a Harry Potter sequel. And, so James has been here for a long time.
I don't look like it though.
And also, it was his birthday yesterday.
All right, I've got another question here. I'm going to throw this one to Mary Kate Wiles. First, do any of you have a favorite character you've acted as, like ever? Not just in this one, like ever.
I'm terrible at this question. This is the wrong one to throw to me because I never have I don't have an answer. I love them all. Vicky was very fun. I got to be on a Nickelodeon show if you've seen The Fairly Odd Parents. I got to play Vicky, and that was pretty fun. She's very mean. But I was thinking the last question about what my answer would be for that, and I was thinking of another show. I don't do a lot of theater, but I have been in one other show in the past decade. It's called Spies Are Forever. It's not show, but a lot of us have been involved in it, including me and Kurt and Joey and Lauren. And I was thinking about how much fun that was, and I got to play a Russian spy, and she's pretty fun. Yeah, I really enjoyed her. So Tatiana will be my answer today. Yeah. Anybody else want to answer that since I wasn't?
Yeah, it's for everybody. Corey, Doris, do you have a favorite role that you've played like ever?
No. Okay, I did a two-person play called Dutch Masters.
I loved this. This is maybe the best play I've ever seen.
I'll be honest, it's up there because it was a two-person play, so I had a lot of lines. But after that, I would say Bill Woodward is might be my second favorite ever. So yeah, that's all.
Thank you. You were wonderful in that show.
Yeah.
It was a fantastic show. It was a drama, very, very powerful. It's one of the best performances I've ever seen with my own eyes. It was fantastic. All right, let's jump to a new question. Okay, let's say this is for everybody. We'll go down the line. What was your favorite musical to perform that you've ever done? It doesn't have to be one of these shows. It could be any show that you've ever done. Corey?
Say the question. Sorry, my mic was stuck on my shirt.
That's okay. What was your favorite musical to perform?
Well, I haven't done many musicals before Starkid, to be honest, and I've always thought of, yes, let me say, am I lame for saying, it's between Guy and Nerdy Prudes, to be honest. Yeah, I haven't decided.
Okay, Guy and Nerdy Prudes. All right, Joey.
I think my top three are this, Nerdy Prudes, and Oregon.
Yeah.
I had one time in Oregon, I got to be weird. I got to do a lot of weird stuff. A lot of weird voices.
Will, did you have a favorite musical?
My obvious answer is Nerdy Prudes Must Die. But I did a production of West Side Story where I played Tony at the Fifth Avenue Theater. It had a 45-piece orchestra, 50-person cast with a dance company, and that was probably just like every musical theater nerd's dream come true. To sing with 45 pieces underneath you is like one of my top 10 experiences ever.
Three answers. Number one was the production of 42nd Street we did at U of M. Because 42nd Street was the first Broadway show I'd ever seen when I was a kid. And so that the fact that we got to do that on that stage was so much fun. Second was a production of Ain't Misbehavin' that I got to do a couple years ago. That one was really fun because it was all my friends. For some reason, they all cast all of us not knowing that we knew each other. So it was just 5 of us on stage cracking up, making jokes every single day. That was so much fun. And then the last one was a random regional theater production of Footloose in Kansas City. That show is so fun. I don't care what anyone says. It's a great show. The songs are amazing. Lauren played Ariel one time.
In high school.
So yeah, Footloose, yeah, that one, I really, really enjoyed that show.
Well, my answer probably would be Spies Are Forever, but since I just talked about that, I will say that I was in a production, and because it's a little topical, I was in Brigadoon at USC. And I played Bonnie Jean. It actually was great. We
You
had the
played
best
Bonnie
time.
Jean in
I
Brigadoon?
did.
You know, I played Harry Beaton in
You
Brigadoon.
would have been in love with me.
Who died.
Yeah,
he died.
I ended up dating the guy who played
Harry Beaton.
for really far too long. But yeah, showman's, yeah.
Okay, I've got 3. Spies, because I just love that show and the joy, and it has lived on, and I love it so much. Recently, I would say the joy of getting to come back together and do Nerdy Prudes, because that was the first time since COVID that we got to be in a room, and that felt special in a way I can't quite even describe. And then the other one would be in 2008, I did a production of The Light in the Piazza in Dallas. I played Fabrizio, where I met my wife, Kim Wynn. So that's a big one. Another show, and it lasted. It's still going. It's a still going show. Actually, showmances are supposed to end, I think. So we're an unsuccessful show.
Oh, okay,
You know?
right, because it's
Yeah.
only for the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Mine is probably Wicked.
Your favorite musical?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to perform is Wicked.
Yeah, probably Elphaba. They, they call me back when they need someone to fill in it.
Yep.
And that's
every
been-
once in a while goes in,
Yeah.
says, I'm in Wicked this weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah.
She's great.
So I have loved my time at Wicked.
Have you had a favorite musical that you've worked on, Julia?
I mean, this one is an absolute joy to work on. I love watching it from the booth every single night. I'm always so surprised every single night whenever they do a little extra little something, and I'm like, okay, let's go. But I think other musicals I also love working on. I just did a little night music over at Pasadena Playhouse, and that was just an absolute joy to watch. Just some class acts do some beautiful music, beautiful Sondheim. And I think they won a Tony for that, so like, there you go.
Wow.
So I love that one.
This hands down has been so incredible. I mean, I have a background in film, so I've only done a couple musicals, but this has been such a great experience.
Wonderful. What's my favorite musical that I've ever performed? Well, or been a part of. Okay. I'll say that probably my favorite Starkid show to do that I thought I had the best time doing was Nerdy Prudes Must Die.
Yeah.
I liked that one. That was a good one. Okay, here's a question. This is a question that I'll answer. It is, what is the most challenging aspect of writing these style of musicals? So I have, some writing partners. I write mainly with my brother, Matt Lang, who's not here right now, but his wife and my sister-in-law, Rusty, is here right now. Hello. Writing musicals is tough because you have to you have to figure out where you want to put all these songs. And I don't know anything about music. I don't know anything about writing songs. We luckily have great songwriters that we work with. So we'll kind of plot out our story, and we'll say, and then here there's a song that needs to do this, and that. And Jeff Blim has written all of the songs for all of the Hatchetfield musicals, including this one. So it'll be kind of a process of trying to communicate, because I don't know much about music. I'll find a song that I think is like the one that I want a certain part to be like. And sometimes Matt and I will have a different opinion of what we want the song to sound like, and then we'll tell Jeff, and then Jeff will go off and write it. Like in this musical, because have all of you seen The Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals? Is there anybody here who hasn't seen The Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals? You haven't? I'm so sorry, and you haven't. I'm so sorry. You have no idea what we're talking about now. So The Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals is a musical about this guy. He doesn't like musicals. And so basically, musicals make him uncomfortable. He thinks they're stupid and all of that. And then a meteor crashes into his town that he lives in, and it brings an alien invasion that is making everybody sing and dance. And so the world around him is becoming a musical. So it's kind of like the anti-musical idea. And that was kind of our thought. It's very similar to Invasion of the Body Snatchers, if you've ever seen that movie. There's even the main character in the 70s version, who's played by Donald Sutherland, is named Matthew, which is why in this show, the character's name is Paul Matthews, as a reference to that movie. And Paul Matthews then, it turned out, became, there are several characters also named Paul Matthews in different movies that we didn't know about. In the movie Love Potion number 9, the main character is named Paul Matthews, and then there's a new movie that came out where they also named the main character Paul Matthews. I don't remember what it was. Does anybody know that? Anybody? You'll figure it out. It's I'd say trying to incorporate music, but honestly, Hatchetfield shows are the easiest shows for us to write, because they all take place in modern day. You don't have to think of all right, this is a fantasy world. Do they know what a zipper is? Because we wrote this show, Cinderella's Castle. We put a zipper sound in it, even though they would not have had zippers at that time, but we put in a zipper sound. So I think it's hard to keep track of everything, and yeah. So anyway, all right, let's throw this question to Becky Clark. What was your favorite new effect that was brought to this version of the show?
I don't want to spoil too much.
No spoiler.
There's some makeup that's really cool. I think that's my favorite thing.
Awesome. That's all. There's some makeup. Eventually, all of you will see the show. We're trying to we'll release a digital ticket. We'll release it on YouTube and all of that. You'll get to see some of these things. Is anybody coming? Does it? Okay. Anyway, this is a question that says, what were the boys in the Workin' Boys short? Were they being controlled by the Lords in Black? So, for those of you that don't know, there is a musical within the musical, in this musical, where there's a character who's writing a musical called Workin' Boys. Workin' Boys is a joke that I had with some of my friends that predates the existence of The Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals, where we were trying to come up with one of the stupidest ideas for a musical that we possibly could, and we came up with this thing called Workin' Boys. And then there's a character that's trying to make this musical, and we made a short that was a short film that you can go watch on YouTube if you want to, for free. It's called Workin' Boys, and it's about the character Professor Higgins trying to make his musical Working Boys. And at one point he sees a vision of these boys from his old friends that the show is about. And we, for whoever asked this question, it's you. It's meant to be like whatever you think it is. Do you think that, what do you think?
Personally, I always thought that the boys and pigeons, their affections were never really reciprocated. Pigeons imagined that they loved her.
Oh, okay.
And Loki was playing on this in order to get pigeons to murder his cast and black out.
Okay, gotcha. So what was just said was that Higgins maybe imagined that the boys from Working Boys cared about him. He cared about them more than they cared about him, and he's being manipulated by an evil god to do evil things in the short. Maybe that's what it is. I can't really say for sure. We left it up to you, and all of you can go home and watch that, and you can make your own decision on what that'd be. All right, here we go. So, let's see. How did the newcomers get into the company? So, Will, how did you get into the
I got an audition one day for Max Jagerman, and it came through, and they'd been, I guess, doing a massive call looking for Max Jagerman. I went to the University of Michigan. I was in the music theater department, was not familiar with Starkid as much as I should at this point. So I was like, threw a quick tape together. 3 weeks later, I got a call, and they were like, hey, come out to LA and be Max Jagerman in the show. So I got that, and that was amazing. That just kind of like fell into my lap, and it's been the greatest gift ever. But yeah, I had to put a whole audition tape together, and then when I did get out here and I started rehearsals, I was like, let me start watching, all these Starkid shows, so I know, what I'm getting into. And I think I stayed up all night. I started with guiding like musicals, Black Friday, went all the way back. I got no sleep, and I came in the next day like, you all are rock stars. This is amazing. Like, I can't wait to make this with you all. But yeah, that's how I did. Just a good old audition.
Nice audition, yeah. And Will was great. He was the best for the role.
I was wearing like a Lizzo tank top with like a big chain in my audition for it. I don't know where that Lizzo tank top is. I need to find it.
It was fantastic. All right, Lauren, what is the process of making a musical like?
Well, first I wrote it. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, wait. How do I like succinctly talk about this? Well, first, we have like our production team. So we've got Nick, Becky, Brian Holden, who's in Chicago. We're our producers. So we had a bunch of meetings to just discuss like initial things, and then they gave me the freedom to find the design team. So I went out, got a lot of recommendations from people, started interviewing a bunch of people for every member of the design team, chose the design team. Then we got everyone on board. We onboarded everyone. We got meetings. We had a ton of fucking meetings. It's a lot of meetings at first. And then you start getting initial sketches and plans from all the designers. You give notes. They come back to you with second drafts. You kind of okay things. And it's kind of like a snowball. The whole thing just keeps, it's a train. It just goes. What am I missing from the process? Then we get the cast together. We tell them what's going on. We send out like the script, all the music materials, all that. This whole time I'm communicating with designers and the production team and everything to make sure everyone's on the same page, everything's being communicated. It's just a lot of like logistics and communication and pre-production. Then we come up with our timeline for rehearsals. So I come up with a rehearsal schedule and our tech schedule. We work with Paul Gabriel, who was our production manager. He communicated with all the design teams so that we could figure out our load-in and our tech schedule, which is when we set all the tech elements. And then, what else? Am I being succinct enough?
Emotionally, what was it like for you?
Emotionally it was great. I had the best time. I had the best time. I so enjoyed it. I loved working with everyone. I loved working with the designers.
What was it like being director, actor,
Oh,
Also directing your friends.
yes.
That was all that like. Going back
That's a
and
great
forth.
question. Yeah, you kind of have to split your brain in half. I love, yeah, Severance. Anyone? Apple TV? But I really loved it. I need to be like very stimulated at all times or else I get sleepy. So I really, really enjoyed it because I was thinking about so many things at every given moment that it actually made me more engaged with everything that was going on. So it really worked for me. It is a hard job to kind of like be in a scene, block it within the scene, then jump out and watch it and give notes. And it's also your friends that you're like, hey, can you change this? So you have to really develop like a trust, hopefully, with everyone. And what was good is that we all have an established trust with each other as performers. So it felt very natural for me to also give notes. And I was also like so mean about it. So like if they didn't take my note, they knew I'd get so fucking mad. And that's really the secret of directing. Yeah, everyone had a healthy fear of me, which I think really worked.
Even like last night we were just doing a little rehearsal, and there was like moments where you would just, even on stage, would be like, oh, step 2 feet this way. And I was just kind of blown away of like, you know every little detail.
Yeah.
And that's incredible to not
Thanks,
only
Kurt.
see it from that side, but to see it from this side as well.
Thanks.
There's 50 million pieces in your brain.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
And like during
Good time.
tech, Riani, who is our other understudy, who is understudying just Emma.
Yes, oh my
Riani
God.
was like basically did the entirety of tech
Yes.
as Emma, as Lauren was like working with lighting design and
Yes,
working
I
with-
got to shout out Riani, who isn't here tonight, but she was, yes. She was my understudy, and so basically all through tech, so that I could be up there in the house and finessing all the tech elements. She was my stand-in, and she basically was Emma through all of tech, so that I could just be up there watching the show and seeing how all the tech elements looked. So having her for tech and stuff was really, really helpful. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you dropped in the first dress rehearsal. Then you're like,
Yeah.
I'm now in the show again.
Yeah, and I was like, hi, remember me? Yeah.
Awesome. I think we're going to do one more question because the time is drawing nigh. Okay, so let's. This can be a question for everybody. What is it like being reconnected with the Hatchetfield characters? Is there any nostalgia? And that's from Andy. Thank you, Andy. Where are you, Andy? There you are. Hello, Andy.
Yeah.
All right.
Andy.
I'll go. They fished out my old Max Jagerman jacket, and I remember the first fitting session I had with the costumer, and like we put that jacket back on. I was just like, oh, I'm home. I get to be back with all my people. So it's like so nice to be Max Jagerman again. And when you finally see the show, you'll know when that is. And it's so fun.
I think too, just what's so fun about the way you guys write the Hatchetfield characters is that even the smallest parts have so much personality and life to them. So like, there's never a moment where you're like there was moments in shows where I'd be like, Nick, who's this guy? Thinking like, oh, just stand there and do your line. And you'd be like, actually, let me give you this 10-page backstory. And it makes you as the actor feel like you're always really connected to the material, even if you're not doing a ton in the scene. And so it feels like truly the no small parts thing. Like, it's just really rewarding. That's really cool.
Yeah, Hatchetfield stuff always feels like visiting old friends. Like every time you get to revisit it, whether it's like the Nightmare Time stuff or remounting or whatever, it's like, it feels very, like very sweet.
Part of the sitcom that we've been a part of
Yeah.
for the last
Yeah, it's special.
Yes, because this show is 7 years old. Is it 7?
Wow.
Years old, yeah.
I was just gonna say on the creative end, having choreographed the first version and then doing this version, it was nice to see everything, characters so fleshed out. So it kind of informed how the movement could change, because as you'll see, I've changed like 85% of the choreography I did from the last version. And I did that because A, I know these people as performers now, so I know what they can do more, and so we wanted to change that up. We have a bigger stage. We just had so much more we wanted to do with everybody. And I feel like it lets these characters shine in a different way because we know who they are now, and I know who they are. And I think this version comes alive even more than we did in 2018.
We also just we're also just a little bit older too. We're like some of these characters, it's like, even though we were in our early 30s or late 20s doing them, you go, I feel even more secure playing Ted now, and strangely Pete, I guess. There's just such a deep, rich tapestry of people and kinds of people. It's like so fun that it's funny to have nostalgia for something that is also kind of a continuous project between the Nightmare Times and the shows that we've continued to do. But it is so fun. It's also just so fun revisiting this show, having no knowledge of the greater Hatchetfield universe when we first did this show. That was not, it was just like this show that is just an Invasion of the Body Snatchers kind of, but in a musical form. And now it's like, oh, there's so much other stuff that's being brought to that, and that's been such a fun thing just with what Lauren and the designers were thinking of things that are being added, and they're like, oh, that's so fun. But playing the characters is so, it's great, and it's just I feel very grateful that throughout all these shows too, there's just like such a variety of fun characters that we've gotten to play. And they're all so fun. It's like fun watching the Working Boy short. And there's like a line in the Working Boy short where Lauren as Ruth is doing something embarrassing on stage, and then it cuts to Linda making fun of Ruth. And I'm like, that's so funny that it's you making fun of yourself.
There should be more of that.
It's such a weird thing. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Thanks for writing it, Nick.
And
And,
thanks to Matt Lang, who's also
Yes.
thank you,
And
Matt.
Matt.
Jeff Blim, yes, who also wrote all the music and everything, and they did a fantastic job creating the world. And yes, I feel very nostalgic with it, which seems weird to say because, you know, I had a hand in making it up, but I get to say it because Matt was there, so I get to go like, I'm a fan of what Matt made. So I like it because I like that. He's very talented. So anyway, I think that's all the questions that we had time for, but before we go, we just want to ask everybody to not take pictures of this next part and not to film them.